flew up to surprise you, Alicia. Guess what he found? You somebody else and you were supposed to be his girl.
What if everything you believed about a superstar's rise to fame wasn't the full story? What if the glittering awards, the standing ovations, and the carefully crafted interviews were only one side of a much deeper truth? For years, fans have admired Alicia Keys as the quiet storm of R&B, the classically trained pianist with braids, soul, and a voice that felt pure. She was different. She wasn't loud. She wasn't messy. She didn't clap back on social media. She just sang, and somehow always won. But here's the twist. Now at 44, Alicia is finally addressing whispers that have followed her for decades. Whispers about powerful mentors, about industry politics, about doors that opened a little too easily. And when those old interviews started resurfacing, fans couldn't help but remember one person who had been shouting these claims for years: Jaguar Wright. Was Jaguar right all along? Did Alicia's rise come with quiet compromises the public never saw? Or is this another case of the industry chewing up a woman who dared to succeed? Tonight, we're unpacking it all: the rumors, the alliances, the silence, and the truth that may have been hiding in plain sight. Because sometimes the calmest person in the room holds the loudest secrets. Alicia Keys didn't come into the industry like most pop stars. She wasn't dancing in sparkly outfits or chasing radio hits with bubblegum hooks. She was a teenage girl from Hell's Kitchen, New York, raised by a single mother, studying classical piano while other kids were outside playing. Her talent was undeniable. Teachers saw it, producers saw it, even record executives saw it early. And that's where the story begins to shift. At just 15, Alicia signed her first deal. That alone is rare. But what really changed her life was crossing paths with one of the most powerful men in music history, Clive Davis. This is the same executive who helped build legends. When Clive believes in an artist, the industry listens. And when he molds an artist, he molds them carefully. Alicia was moved to his label, J Records, when she was still a teenager, but her debut album didn't drop immediately. It was delayed, reworked, adjusted. Some songs were scrapped, the image was refined, the sound was polished. And when Songs in Minor finally arrived in 2001, it didn't just arrive, it exploded. 5 Grammys, millions of copies sold, instant respect. But here's what many didn't realize at the time. Very few artists receive that kind of full-force industry backing on their first try. Radio stations were ready, award shows were ready, media outlets were ready. It felt almost pre-planned, and that's exactly what Jaguar Wright would later claim. Jaguar didn't whisper her accusations, she shouted them. In interviews and live streams, she insisted that Alicia's career wasn't just about talent, it was about alliances. She accused powerful executives of hand-picking who would rise and who would fall. According to Jaguar, Alicia wasn't just lucky, she was protected. At first, most people dismissed it as bitterness. Jaguar had her own complicated history in the industry, but the internet never forgets. And when Alicia herself recently admitted that her early career involved guidance and trusting decisions made by people above her, fans started connecting dots. What nobody expected was Alicia to subtly confirm that she didn't always have control. In a recent reflective interview, she spoke about being young and feeling pressure to go along with decisions because she didn't want to lose opportunities. She described moments of confusion, times when her image felt bigger than her voice, and situations where powerful figures were steering her path. She didn't name names, but she didn't deny the system either. That's when Jaguar's old clips went viral again, because Jaguar had claimed that artists like Alicia were shaped to be marketable, safe, and compliant. She argued that real rebellion doesn't get rewarded, obedience does. And looking back at Alicia's early image, it's hard not to see the pattern. She was soulful but never controversial, empowering but never disruptive, talented but always polished. even during personal scandals, she stayed silent. When her relationship with Swizz Beatz began while he was still legally married, headlines exploded. His ex-wife spoke publicly. Blogs tore Alicia apart. The Homewrecker label followed her everywhere. Yet Alicia said almost nothing. No dramatic interviews, no emotional press tours, just music and more awards. Silence became her strategy. But here's where things get even more interesting. Over the years, insiders have quietly suggested that Alicia's negative press disappears unusually fast. Stories fade, interviews vanish, narratives soften. In an industry where one mistake can end a career, Alicia always seemed to land on her feet. Is that talent, timing, or protection? Jaguar Wright once claimed that certain artists are shielded because they are considered valuable assets. She hinted that executives invest too much money and power into shaping a star to let scandals ruin them. And while those claims were explosive, Alicia's career trajectory does raise questions. From her Grammy dominance to coaching on The Voice, from global tours to curated activism, she evolved seamlessly. Even her no-makeup era in 2016 felt like a perfectly timed rebrand. She wrote an emotional essay about rejecting beauty standards. The world applauded her bravery. It became a movement. But months later, fans noticed subtle glam returning: light foundation, gloss, carefully styled lighting. The message shifted from no makeup ever to choice and freedom. Some supporters felt confused. Was it empowerment or marketing genius? Again, Alicia didn't argue. She adjusted, and the criticism faded. That pattern, controversy rising, silence, smooth re-entry, repeated itself again and again. Now, at 44, Alicia appears more reflective than ever. In recent conversations, she's spoken about spiritual growth and understanding the machine. She admitted that when she was younger, she didn't question certain power structures because she was grateful to be there. She said she had to learn how to own her narrative. For some fans, that was powerful honesty. For others, it sounded like confirmation. Because Jaguar's main claim was never that Alicia lacked talent. She said Alicia was talented, but that her rise was engineered, that powerful men shaped her brand, protected her image, and elevated her strategically. And when Alicia says she was guided heavily in the beginning, people hear echoes of that accusation. But let's slow down. The industry has always been complicated. Young artists often rely on executives. Contracts limit freedom. PR teams manage perception. That doesn't automatically mean wrongdoing. It means business. Still, what makes this story emotional isn't just industry politics, it's identity. Fans believed Alicia was fully self-made, the poetic songwriter, the natural beauty, the grounded spiritual soul. To imagine that parts of that persona were curated by boardroom decisions feels unsettling, because we want our icons to be organic. The emotional weight of this revelation hits hardest when you consider Alicia's early interviews. She often spoke about authenticity, truth, and inner strength. If she was privately navigating pressures and compromises, that must have been isolating. Imagine being 19, signing contracts you barely understand, trusting executives who hold your future in their hands. That's not evil, that's vulnerable. And vulnerability in a billion-dollar industry can be dangerous. It also reshapes how we see her silence during scandals. Maybe it wasn't cold calculation, maybe it was survival. Maybe she learned early that speaking too much could cost her everything she worked for. At 44, Alicia seems more in control than ever. She owns businesses, she produces, she advocates, she chooses appearances carefully. There's a maturity in her tone now, less polished, more reflective. But the internet is relentless. Every time Jaguar Wright trends, Alicia's name follows. Every time Alicia talks about her early years, fans replay Jaguar's warnings. It's like two timelines colliding, one loud and chaotic, the other calm and measured. So was Jaguar right? Maybe partially, maybe completely. Or maybe she saw fragments of truth and filled the rest with speculation. The reality likely sits somewhere in the middle. Talent meeting opportunity, opportunity meeting power, power shaping image. What's undeniable is that Alicia's journey wasn't as simple as piano keys and pure dreams. It was strategy, mentorship, industry politics, personal choices, public silence, reinvention. And that doesn't erase her talent, it complicates it. The most emotional part of all this is realizing that fame often demands a price that fans never see. Trusting the wrong person, staying quiet when you want to scream, smiling through rumors, letting executives control headlines, watching your identity turn into a product. That's heavy. If Alicia did navigate those pressures quietly, that takes strength. If she benefited from protection, that also came with expectations. No one invests millions into a star without expecting loyalty. And maybe that's what Jaguar meant all along. At the end of the day, Alicia Keys remains one of the most respected voices of her generation. Grammys can't be faked. Vocal ability can't be manufactured entirely. Songs that move millions don't come from thin air. But the path to the spotlight, that's rarely pure. At 44, Alicia confirming that her rise involved powerful guidance doesn't destroy her legacy, it humanizes it. It reminds us that behind every flawless red carpet photo is a contract, a negotiation, a compromise, a decision in a quiet office. The real question isn't whether Jaguar was right. The real question is why we expect our stars to be untouched by the machine in the first place. Maybe Alicia was protected. Maybe she was shaped. Maybe she learned to play the game before it played her. And maybe, just maybe, her greatest talent wasn't only her voice. It was knowing when to speak and when to stay silent. Because in an industry built on noise, silence can be the loudest confirmation of all.